It's the Big 12 and the Sun Belt on ESPN Plus. From the Kendrick Family Ballpark in Morgantown, West Virginia, Marshall and West Virginia. Hi, friends, and a very pleasant good day. Thank you for joining us. Angelica Trinone will also be joining us during the broadcast. Tyler Barnett alongside. Who are we featuring?
First of all, Evan Batone for Marshall, the junior from Bay Village, Ohio, had a great series last weekend at App State. He had 5 hits across that series. 2 of those were doubles, 4 runs scored and 3 RBIs. The junior outfielder batting DH today in the leadoff spot is the team leader with 6 home runs and also the team leader with 6 stolen bases. And then speaking of stolen bases, on the opposite side for West Virginia, Armani Guzman, 3 for 3 stolen bases last weekend versus UCF. He's 19 for 19 on the year. The junior has bounced around the batting lineup a little bit, been in a 3 spot some of the year, down to the 8 spot, led off last weekend against UCF. 5 spot tonight, but he's also bounced around the field, played some center field, some right field, some first base, and really he's helped West Virginia just about anywhere that he plays.
All set to go. The Herd and the Ears from Morgantown. Coach of Marshall, here is Greg's batting order with Batone leading off in the designated hitter spot. Jack Halter in right field. He leads. He's tied for the team lead in RBIs. He has 28. So does Cooper Hinson.
On the mound for West Virginia, the sophomore David Hagan. Hagan making his 5th start of the year. Had 7 starts last year as a freshman, all of those in the midweek. 11 appearances scattered around those. His last 2 starts has been his season high in innings pitched, both of those with 3. 2 weeks ago against Marshall, we had 3 innings pitched. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts.
And defensively for the Mountaineers, Sean Smith getting his 2nd start in the field. Both of his starts have been as the Mountaineers left fielder, with Kelly playing second base. Gravelin behind the plate. The other day we checked with Brody Kresser. Brody this past weekend was bothered by a sore back. March 24th was the Hagan outing against the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, West Virginia won that game 3-0. Season high 3 innings pitched for Hagan. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Last week, midweek against Arizona, at Arizona, Hagan got the start there as well. He had 3 innings pitched in that outing, 1 hit, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So, guy that's really settled into that midweek starter role.
And this is the second of 3 games this year between West Virginia and Marshall. These 2 teams will play on May 5th in Charleston, West Virginia. Evan Batone to lead off. Batone leads the Marshall team in batting average, 388 his mark. From Bay Village, Ohio, that's up along the banks of the Lake Erie. And a called strike as Robert Reitz goes up with the right hand. William Worthington, Steve Zawiski, and James Clayton are the base umpires. Weekly hit. Was it a foul ball? Yes, the batted ball came off the body of hitter Batone.
I had a coach tell us if a ball comes even close to your foot, your leg, just fall down like it just broke every bone in your body. Somebody has to call it then.
Pitch outside. Batone played at Akron in 2024 and 25 for Greg Beals. Tim Donnelly coaches third, Blair Everhart at first. Slow roller. And Kelly has time to hustle in to get the out. This is the, as you watch the replay of the ball, hit slowly to the right side and necessitating that quick move by Kelly, a quick jump on that ground ball. This is the 4th time that Hagan has started against Marshall. And David Hagan, in his previous 3 starts against the Herd, 9 2/3 innings, 2 runs, no earned runs. And now Kammerer from Newcastle, Pennsylvania, hometown of World Series manager Chuck Tanner. Unassisted play quickly, 2 outs in the top of the 1st inning. Didn't have a chance to tell you that Kammerer is hitting .354 for the year. And he comes into this game with a 7-game hitting streak. Also a 7-game hitting streak for Cooper Hinson. And Hinson's average .356. That's pretty impressive. The top of this Marshall batting order. Batone .388, Kammerer .354, Hinson .356.
And there's also 26 doubles among the 3 of them as well. Batone with 3, Kammerer with 12, Hinson 11, and add up the home runs. You've got 8 of those, 8 of the team home runs in those top 3 spots as well. So guys that get on base, but guys that can hit for extra bases, and that's what you need at the top of the lineup if you want to score early.
Hinson during his 7-game hitting streak batting .393. Nobody on, 2 down in the top of the 1st inning. You know, the decision was made to push this game from Tuesday to Wednesday, and it was a very wise decision. Pretty cold yesterday and a beautiful day today. Count 2-2. Hinson 28 RBIs. Halter has 28. They had a full count. David Hagan got an Ohio battery for West Virginia. Hagan is from the Cincinnati area, and so is Gravelin. And ball 4. Well, we're talking about geography. There are only 2 players from Ohio that are on the West Virginia roster. These 2 guys, Hagan and Gravelin. There are 13 players from the state of Ohio on the Marshall lineup. Not surprising, considering that Greg Beals from Springfield, Ohio, played at Kent State, head coach at Ball State, head coach at Ohio State. And now Anthony Joseph Havrilla batting with a man aboard and 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. AJ batting .248, 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. Had a 2 home run game and 4 RBIs at Georgia Southern on March the 22nd.
In that March 24th game against West Virginia, Havrilla 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch and a strikeout. Oliver Service was the only Marshall player with a hit in that last matchup, and Service not in the lineup today.
And quickly meeting at the mound after the 2-out walk, and now Hagan falling behind 3 balls and no strikes. Justin Oni, the pitching coach.
Hagan fastball 89-91, slider 80-84, curveball 79-81, changeup 81-84. Really relies on that curveball as his main go-to breaker. Curveball was the last strike that he threw. He threw a curveball to Cooper Henson for a strike, and then walked Henson on the next pitch, and now down 3-0 to Havrilla.
One on and 2 outs. Back-to-back walks. Well, Hagan had issued a total of 6 walks in his first 7 games, including 4 starts and 12 1/3 innings.
Now batting for Marshall, right fielder, number 4, Jackson Halter.
Jack Halter, Texan. Left-handed batters in the Marshall lineup in the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 8th spots. Halter 218 batting average, but a team leading 28 RBIs, tied with Henson.
Speaking of team leading, 33 walks on the year for Havrilla, and it was his 33rd walk. Only has 25 hits on the year, but 33 walks.
And now Hagan jumps out in front of Halter, 0-2. Two on, no. Ball fouled away. The early going 5th batter of the ball game. Runner at second, Henson. Havrilla the runner at first. And the strikeout of Halter ends the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, 2 left on base. Marshall nothing, West Virginia coming to bat. 5 spot back up to number 1. Gavin Kelly, who leads the team with a .405 batting average, 5th in the Big 12. So you've got left-handed batters in this West Virginia lineup, 1, 3, 5, and 7.
Pitcher for Marshall, number 31, Kenyon Collins. And Collins is a typical Sunday starter for the Herd. But with Easter weekend, getting the Saturday start, only had 2 innings pitched against App State and 51 pitches. So running back out here in the midweek, get him a little bit of extra work.
And here is the Marshall 4-H defense with Hinson, Harthen, and Halter in the outfield, and Havrilla playing first base. Let's go to Angelica Trinone.
Lanny, I talked to both coaches before the game on just how important this in-state rivalry is, and Coach Beals told me his philosophy is he has a greater obligation than just coaching baseball. He said, I want to try to make baseball great in our state and do good things. He said when he first got here, former WVU coach Randy Mazey had the same mindset, and it's continued with Steve Sabins. He says it's all about respect, and he loves the relationship that they have and the competitiveness. Now, he did say maybe not the same respect for the players on the field, but at least with the coaching staff, guys.
All right, Angelica, thank you very much. As Inish takes a strike. I think we had a graphic issue, and it's a big deal because Collins is not from Ohio.
Collins from Ono, West Virginia.
As a matter of fact, there are not that many players on either of these rosters from West Virginia. There are just 2 players from West Virginia on the Marshall roster, and the other is Griffin Miller, who is from Madison, which is, I understand, northwest of Beckley.
Okay.
Inish, .349 batting average. Yeah, first hit of the game. Lead-off single. So we're going to see Collins for very long. What do you hear from
It's not very long, a couple innings, I would say. Again, like we said, he's typical Sunday starter, but with Easter weekend, that start gets moved up to Saturday. So you've got Saturday, you got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. That's 3 days. Today's his typical bullpen day. So why not, instead of throwing a bullpen, let's just throw him in a game, see how he does, get him a little bit extra work, especially with only 2 innings pitched against App State. Get him back out there in a game, get him some reps, and toss him back out on Sunday. He got really good stuff. Fastball 90 to 92, a curveball down in the 70s. Does throw a cutter in the mid 80s, and his changeup about the same. So you're gonna see that cutter probably upper mid 80s, changeup mid lower 80s. Those pitches gonna go 2 different ways. Had a great outing against Butler back in March. Got the win on 119 pitches, pitched 8 1/3 innings, just 1 run given up and 14 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good. So he's got good stuff. It's just, you know, it's baseball. He just didn't have a great weekend. Got run out of there pretty quickly against App State, but back to work here, and, you know, get to see probably the lineup 1 time through, I'd say, and then head back to the dugout and let the bullpen take over from there.
No score bottom of the first inning. Collins, after that impressive 8 1/3 against Butler, the next time out, he faced St. Bonaventure and went 6 innings, 1 run, no earned run. So that means in those 2 early starts for Collins, he gave up 1 earned run in 14 1/3 innings.
Only had 2 walks in that 8 1/3 innings pitched against Butler, but had 2 walks in his 2 innings against App State. So, you know, I talked to pitching coach Aaron Blair before the game, and he said, you know, he's confident with all of his pitches and any counts, but it's, you know, if he has a couple of walks, he gets himself into trouble, and he does his best whenever he works ahead, commands his fastball low in the zone, and, you know, I think that same thing could be said for just about, just about any pitcher. If you can command the strike zone and fill it up, let your defense work behind you. You saw UCF do the exact same thing over the weekend.
The ball kicks away from catcher Golden, and the count is full on Gavin Kelly.
The fastball there stays down.
Three and two, no score, bottom of the first. Tyler mentioned Aaron Blair, member of the Marshall Sports Hall of Fame. Foul ball out of play. Count 3-2. Gavin Kelly, during the season, has had a 20-game hitting streak and has hit safely in 25 of 28 games. West Virginia's overall record 21-7, and the Mountaineers are 8-4 in the Big 12. UCF is in first place, Kansas second, and then West Virginia.
9 pitches so far in this at-bat for Kelly.
10. UCF and Kansas, 1 and 2 teams in the Big 12 currently. They are slated to be matched up in Kansas this weekend. So we have the base hit by Anish. He moved up on the errant pitch. Off the glove of Simpson. Inish scores 1-0 West Virginia. Got to be a base hit, right? RBI?
RBI single. And it's just a grinding at-bat. A lot of pitches in the zone, fouling them off until he can get one that he can hit hard. That 103 miles an hour off the bat, right at Simpson. And drives in Inish from second.
RBI number 30 for Gavin Kelly. Leads the ball club in that category, in addition to leading the team in batting average. And now for Gavin Kelly, he's hit safely in 26 of 29. Schoenfeld, 386 batting average. 1 home run, 28 RBIs. Collins previously has made 2 appearances against West Virginia. They were both last year, combined 3 scoreless innings.
Collins, a guy that's really matured over the last year, and that's one of the things that Aaron Blair had mentioned. Said to watch him grow this fall. His growth, even just during the spring here, has been really fun to watch. And I mean, you saw those in his early outings against Butler. And
ground ball, Gavrila to shortstop Smith, and the call is out at second base. Schoenfeld bounced into the force play.
Now coming to bat for West Virginia left fielder number 11, Sean Smith.
And that, in my opinion, is clearly the correct call.
Yep. If the ball goes straight down, it's going to be on the transfer. If it continues out to the field, then it was never really caught, never really stopped, and that's where you're going to get that call.
And the umpires are going to take a look at it. West Virginia out to the 1-0 lead. So refresh everybody's memory. How many times may a head coach request?
2.
2?
Yep. You get 2, and if you get them right, you get to keep it. So West Virginia will be down to 1 after this. And if they have that 1 and they keep winning with that 1, they continue to have that 1. But you can only the ruling is you can only lose two challenges on the game.
Steve Sabins and third baseman Simpson both having a very friendly conversation. Interesting side note about Simpson at third and Hall at third. They are both Canadians.
West Virginia's had good luck with Canadians as of late.
Yeah. By the way, Hall is from British Columbia, and Simpson is from Alberta. It does appear as if Cleary is a very, very personable young man. He's talking to Sabins. He's now talking third base umpire Clayton. I talked to about 7 of the West Virginia players. I did not talk to Cleary. Shame on me.
Probably should have.
Especially if this game goes on as we think it might, with pitching changes and now with replay calls. So Kelly does indeed officially belong in the dugout. One on, 1 in, and 1 out. And now Smith, who leads the team in home runs with 5, including his grand slam at Arizona State. Schoenfeld 13 stolen bases this year.
Sean Smith only 2 doubles on the year, a triple, 5 home runs. Guy that really a free swinger at the plate. Only 12 walks on the year for Smith, so not going to see a whole lot of pitches.
How many years have you and I been working together? 5 or 6? We started before COVID, didn't we?
We did. No,
No,
it was after.
Fly ball, right field corner, and a foul ball.
So this is third full year. Third full year.
Oh yeah.
Yes. That first year we did half the games together.
Well, that's right. They were auditioning us.
Yeah.
Yeah. They weren't sure we were going to be good enough, and we've proven.
And they were right.
They were right. As I said, we've proven to them. But I don't recall in the time that we worked at, we've never had a foul ball up here, have we?
No, we had one really close last year, hit right above the window here.
I'm surprised because this appears to be a vantage point where you'd expect a few to come.
Yeah, especially from lefties. Especially from lefties up here. I did get one.
Base hit into left center field. Schoenfeld on his way to third. He's going to be stopped there. Second and third, 1-0 West Virginia, 1 out.
No, we were just talking about Sean Smith only has 2 doubles on the year, and go ahead and make that 3. Another hard hit ball from West Virginia, 103 miles an hour off the bat.
You could see in that replay, Schoenfeld hesitated just a moment.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
And now Guzman 267 average, 22 RBIs. Infield playing back with runners at second and third, one out. Guzman, safety squeeze. Safe at first, 2-0 West Virginia. As Schoenfeld scores, Smith goes to third.
Guzman is great at that. He was even willing to lay down bunts like that when he was hitting in the 3 spot. But with his speed, if you put it in play, make the pitcher field it, make the pitcher move to field it, he's got a really good chance just about every time. And then that one turns into not only a single, but an RBI.
And now Matt Robaugh. Robaugh, designated hitter today. And this is the 5th different DH that Steve Sabins has used this year. Most times it's been Smith. 24 games Smith has started as the designated hitter.
Yep.
Robaugh at Trinity High School in Washington, Pennsylvania. And
Robaugh got the start at second base on Sunday for Brody Cresser. Played so well in that Sunday start that he gets the DH appearance here today. The only other game that Sean Smith wasn't the DH was Zahir Barjam DH'd, what was that, Saturday? And then the last time West Virginia played Marshall, back on March 24th, Zahir Barjam DH'd that game as well.
runner at first going, Guzman out at second. Second out of the inning, Smith scores on a fielder's choice. It's now 3-0 West Virginia.
It's the first caught stealing of the year for Guzman.
Real good tag by Kammerer.
Yeah. 19-19 going into that attempt right there, and now 19 for 20.
Three and one on Robaugh. Three and two.
So you mentioned foul balls up here. Haven't gotten any. I got one in the booth at Go-Mart Ballpark down in Charleston. You're sitting on the screen down there. The press box is on the screen. And somehow the ball came over top of the screen, through the window of the press box, and smashed my iPad.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
smashed it.
Yes, it's still got a nice little crack.
Oh, it's still operative.
Yeah.
And time called as Collins is getting ready to work to his seventh batter. No, he's not. The assignment was to work in a very limited fashion today, and Greg Beals decides that Collins has thrown enough today. West Virginia leads 3-0 in the bottom of the first inning, and a pitching change. Back in a moment.
Oftentimes, patients come here because they've had pain for a long time and no one's been able to help them. You don't need to suffer in silence. We have the capabilities, training, and expertise to help you. We use a multidisciplinary approach and try to get you at the highest level of activity with the lowest level of pain. The WVU Medicine Center for Integrative Pain Management is your one-stop shop for pain treatment.
Hi, we're WVU. You probably know us for screaming. And yeah, we're pretty good at it. But here, it's more than a chant. It's our celebration of innovation.
Let's go.
Our rallying cry for community.
Let's go!
And honestly, it's just our way of life. So whether you're chasing big dreams or just chasing sunsets,
Let's go!
So where's this left-hander from, Tyler?
This left-hander is from Lima, Ohio.
It's not Lima, huh?
It's not Lima.
It's Lima, Peru, but Lima, Ohio.
Lima,
right?
Ohio, correct. Yeah, as I
Well,
as I
wait a
thought.
minute.
This
This is Albright.
is Blaine
not,
Albright.
If it's Householder, we got a scoop, folks, because he's an outfielder.
No, Blaine Albright, the freshman left-hander from Lima, Ohio.
Told you, there's 13 players on the Marshall roster from the great state of Ohio.
We might see all of them today. Blaine Albright, 11.08 ERA, 1-3 on the year, 6 appearances so far, has started 3 games for Marshall.
My 4 favorite states in the Union: West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York. Not necessarily in that order.
We're gonna have you rank those at some point. We get into pitching change number 8 on the day. We'll just start ranking things.
Quite a few U.S. presidents from Ohio, and a pass ball. Why do catchers commit pass balls? Is it because they get crossed up so much, or is it because they're...
Yeah, you can get crossed up a lot. That's one of the primary reasons. Sometimes not all pitches act the same. The guy's slider might have just a little bit extra juice on it for a pitch or two.
Well, in this day and age with the technology, should that minimize the chances of being crossed up?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I think it would make it a little bit tougher on catchers because you're not calling the pitches, so you're not in charge of the game plan as much.
It's not a case of misunderstanding what you've heard or what you've read.
Yeah, sometimes it could be, but I don't think that would be the case as much. But you got to think before technology, you had to put down the finger that you wanted. You want a fastball, you've got to show it. Now, you don't have to do any of that. You just have to read what's given to you.
So we've got some teams that use the watch or the wrist technology, and then some that have the
earpiece,
the thing in the hat.
Yep.
That's an official term, thing in the hat.
Thing in the hat, TM.
I teach at Waynesburg University. I tell my students that one of the things you have to learn is to have a better vocabulary so that when you talk about things on the air, you can come up with great words like thing.
Like thing in the hat, that hat thing.
3-0 West Virginia, bottom of the first. And out number 3 on a pitch in. The Mountaineers scored 3 runs on 4 hits. West Virginia leads 3-0 after 1.
You can get all of your
Six in the Sun Belt Conference, currently tied for sixth place. Coastal Carolina leads the Sun Belt with a record of 11-1. Texas State and the University of Louisiana Monroe tied for second at 8-4. And Jackson Golden leads off. I was just recently asked, by way of, was that social media? Is that what that was? Did I know that Tim Donnelly was the third, was the son of former Pirate coach Rich Donnelly? Yes, not only did I know that, but I have heard all of Rich Donnelly's stories, and some of them are true. In the old days, Jimmy Leland preferred, the manager of the Pirates, preferred to get a suite on the road. And that's typical for managers in the big leagues. You get a suite.
All right.
But Jimmy liked to have a suite where Jimmy would have his bedroom, and then Rich Donnelly would have the other bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So in case of an emergency, Jimmy had somebody standing close by to
rescue
on whom he could call. And Jimmy used to get so mad at Rich because Rich would get up early and read the newspaper, and then he would tell Jimmy what was in the newspaper. And Jimmy said, "Rich, I prefer to read it I prefer to read the paper myself." And Golden hitting .293. By the way, Tim Donnelly, while we're talking about him, his wife Kelly is an outstanding tennis player, or was at Marshall, and is in the Marshall Hall of Fame. And one away on the top of the second. West Virginia leading 3-0. Dave Hagan is out of Moeller High School on Montgomery Road in Cincinnati. The Bells are all from Moeller. Buddy, David, Mike, Ken Griffey Jr. went to Moeller. Mm-hmm. Barry Larkin from Moeller. And now Harthan. Had a geographical flavor to our broadcast today. This is Harthan's seventh start of the year, and he is from Cumberland, Rhode Island. I think that's a neat thing to point out to you, considering that Cumberland, Maryland, just down that interstate there. Cumberland, Rhode Island, by the way, is north of Providence. I was going to say it was near Providence, but pretty much anything in Rhode Island is close to Providence. Yeah. Down 1 ball, 2 strikes. This Marshall team has put together 2 5-game winning streaks. Did so. Its first one was the first week of March, and then the second one between March 13th and 21st. And Hagan's 2-2 pitch. Fouled out of play. For Marshall this year in the Sun Belt, 3-game sweep of Georgia Southern. Mm-hmm. And then the Herd took 2 out of 3 at Georgia Southern. I remember, won 3 of 3 against Georgia State. And then took 2 of 3 against Georgia Southern. Lost all 3 games to Coastal Carolina. And dropped 2 of 3 this past weekend to Appalachian State.
Yeah. Still have to go to Harrisonburg to play James Madison. James Madison had a big win yesterday over Virginia. A lot of upsets in college baseball yesterday.
Line drive, foul ball. Now, do you say Appalachian or do you say Appalachian?
No, it's Appalachian.
Appalachian.
It's Appalachian.
See, when I grew up in Rochester, New York, it was Appalachian, but I learned that if I'm going to take the $10 to announce for West Virginia, I've got to learn to say it your way.
It's Appalachian.
Appalachian. Thank you, pardon.
Yep. If you say Appalachian, you're not from around
these parts.
The mountains. Yeah.
2-2 pitch. First hit of the game for Marshall. 1 out single for Harthan.
Marshall, third baseman.
Fastball that gets inside on Harthen. Good job getting his hands inside of that and able to flare it out to center field. Last time against West Virginia, Cleary Simpson was 0 for 2 with 2 walks. A strikeout.
The very friendly Cleary Simpson. 1 home run this year. As a matter of fact, his first home run playing for Marshall came against St. Bonaventure on March the 7th. So the gregarious left-handed batter bats with a man on and 1 out. Throw to first. Taken off the carpet by Guzman. For Harthen, he has 1 stolen base. 3-0 Mountaineers. Greg Beals, head coach. This is Greg's 4th year as the head coach of Marshall. 12 years he was the lead guy for Ohio State. Won 346 games as the head coach of the Buckeyes. And for Greg Beals, if I counted properly, Greg has 656 wins in his career. He picked up his 600th win as a college coach against Old Dominion on March 24th. Fly ball to left field. Throw to first, not in time. 2 outs. Harthen gets back.
And great job by Harthen. The rule there is to get as far as you can to not get doubled off. Usually just hang out around the base.
Complete that note. March 24th, 2023 was number 600 for Greg. He and his wife, Kathy, proud parents of 3 daughters. And Jack Smith.
Where's Jack from?
He is from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, Ohio again. Jack was one of the guys that Coach Beals mentioned before the game of how proud he is to watch some of these guys grow. He said Jack's one of those guys that, you know, he's got a couple extra errors on the year, probably more than he should, but that's just because he's got such great fielding range that he gets to some balls that, you know, he's not really ready to get to yet. He's not able to make that throw. The body's not set up to be able to field it cleanly yet. But to be able to watch him grow.
Jack Smith made 2 pitching appearances last year for Marshall. Runner at second, 3-0 West Virginia, top of the 2nd.
That's our first stolen base of the day. Guzman was caught stealing. Everything else had been a wild pitch. And another wild pitch.
Harthen to third. Got 2-2. Steve Sabins has indicated that these starts for Hagan in midweek games on audition in case there is that need for a starter in Big 12 games. Plus, consider the fact that Hagan is only a sophomore.
Yes. Yeah, and really, if you want to be a competitive team, you've got to have 5 starters, 5 guys that you can rely on to go, you know, 5+ innings as a starter. Hagan's number 4 right now for West Virginia. So
ground ball up the middle and a base hit to center field. Harthen scores. Marshall posts its first run, and now West Virginia's lead is 3-1 in the top of the second.
Batting next from Marshall, the designated hitter, number 3, Evan Batone.
And Batone grounded out his first time up. And ball 1.
Ian Korn throwing in the West Virginia bullpen.
I was just checking. Is that really true? This game's gone 45 minutes already?
Oh, yeah. Pitching changes, walks,
top of the second inning. Guzman! Oh, like a fine silk suit. Armani makes the play. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 left on, middle of the second. West Virginia 3, Marshall 1.
You might think occupational therapy is something to do with getting you back to work, but it's actually so much more than that. We give people back their independence. We break down their daily life. What's meaningful to you? What do you feel has been taken? And what can we do to help make you feel more independent? When a patient tells me that they did this one thing that they weren't able to do, knowing that you gave them the tools to succeed is really rewarding.
The air feels different on fall Saturdays in West Virginia. Familiar roads lead us on early morning drives to a place where we feel alive. And traditions bring together a fierce fan base, united by the same passion: West Virginia football. As West Virginia's bank, we've been there, and we'll continue to be there. United Bank, proud to be united with the Mountaineers.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers, for the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists, for long distance love, for the farsighted, nearsighted, for introverts and extroverts, for the thinkers and the doers, for old friends. Coca-Cola, for everyone.
Not necessarily a man for all seasons, but a man for all positions.
Yeah, Guzman struggled at the plate a little bit so far this year. I mean, he's still hitting 267, so it's not too much of a struggle. But you're talking about a guy who was the Clemson regional MVP last year and really played out of position. Recruited as an infielder, played outfield for most of the year last year, and then, you know, when he did play, was in the outfield, and come around to the regionals where it's must win in the postseason for West Virginia, and they plug him in at third base, and yeah, he was incredible there. Comes out this year, plays center field, moves to right field, plays some first base, and just about anywhere he goes, flashes the leather.
Count 1-1. Gravelin, 283 average, 4 home runs, 23 college home runs for Gravelin. Hit 19 while playing for Ohio State. There is on this Marshall team a pitcher, Tim Baird, who played with Gravelin at Ohio State. Matt telling us earlier today that, boy, he was really feeling terrible over the weekend, but of course was feeling well enough to deliver the game-winning hit and a tremendous come-from-behind win over UCF on Saturday. A couple of strikeouts for Albright since coming on in the first inning. Now here in the bottom of the second.
The strikeout on a curveball right there, 78.
Hall, 280 batting average, 1 home run hit at Kennesaw State. In the last 7 meetings between West Virginia and Marshall, West Virginia has won 5 of the 7. Ground ball into right field. 1-out single. See second baseman Kammerer playing up the middle. West Virginia won a ball game at Huntington April 15th last year. And the Mountaineers won the game when Chase Swain stole home in the top of the 9th inning. Ines scored. Started the bottom of the first with a single. Went second on a wild pitch and scored on the Kelly single. March 25th last year, West Virginia beat Marshall here 7-0. Hagan 4 scoreless innings in that game. Bouncer right side. Kammerer out at first, 2 away, and Hall goes to second. Play very similar to the play that Kelly made in the first inning. Maybe this one even more difficult than the one that Kelly made.
Yeah, because Kammerer is a little deeper there, and he's got to come on to make that play in that kind of like that Bermuda Triangle right there. Because yeah, I think Kammerer being a little bit deeper, Smith hovering around second base, they're in double play depth. So you want to be a little bit, you got to be able to make that turn and get that throw over to second. So you've got to be a little bit deeper. Really had to come full throttle to get that ball.
So they will take a look.
Safe.
What do you say, partner?
I think it's safe. Out.
So which is it?
It's out. Out. So West Virginia will...
That's not what Jacob Garcia ruled.
I don't think he has a say.
Everybody's looking at the scoreboard. I mean, most everybody.
Yeah, West Virginia will most likely lose this challenge and will have 0 remaining for the rest of the game. So 5 outs into the game for West Virginia, and they've already used both of their challenges. And I don't think that there's any like contests they can try to play to win an extra challenge back.
You mean like win double jeopardy?
Right, yeah.
Used to be a major league umpire by the name of Tom Gorman, and in addition to being a great umpire, he was also a great after-dinner speaker. And Tom Gorman was famous for saying during his dinner speeches that he always took the philosophy that whenever it was a bang-bang play, call him out, it makes the game shorter.
See, people always said, like, growing up, oh, tie goes to the runner. That's not true. The rule book says you have to beat the throw to first base. If you tie, you don't beat it. So, therefore, a tie is an out.
See, another one. That's another one of those baseball.
Another one of those baseball isms that just don't make sense.
Announcer lies.
But one of the things that somebody told me a couple of years ago is, no. A tie doesn't go to the runner. A tie goes to the umpire.
Well. So Ines gets his second hit of the game.
And that's why I'm up here.
And Greg Beals is out quickly to talk to the home plate umpire.
If you can read lips, he says, "There's no way." Yeah, I think he had the same look that we had. He got to watch it on the scoreboard too. And I think he came to the same conclusion that I did.
Now coming to bat for West Virginia, your second baseman, number 2, Gavin Kelly.
Well, now Gavin Kelly. I like a baseball person with some spunk.
Yeah. Yes.
Kelly RBI single. Fly ball, right field, bouncing to the corner. Hall scores 4-1 West Virginia. Einish stopped at third, so Kelly has his second hit and second run batted in.
The fastball.
Now batting for West Virginia, the center fielder, number 6.
Fastball there from Albright. Just cuts right into the barrel of Kelly, and you can see Kelly going inside out to that, flaring it out to right field, scores Tyrus Hall, and sets up 2 runners in scoring position here for Schoenfeld.
Schoenfeld 0 for 1. So 3 straight hits. Albright came on in the first. He struck out Wills for the final out of the first inning, and then struck out Graveline to start the second.
And Kammerer was playing a shallow right field. And then right as that pitch was called, he came sprinting in to play about where he was during the Einish at-bat. And now he's right back out to right field.
(5-1) West Virginia as Schoenfeld grounds out, and Einish scores. Kelly goes to third.
That run, if Einish called out at first base, that run doesn't come across inning over. Because Einish would not be on third there, and Kelly would most likely be at second base, but that would, regardless, that would be out number 3, and Marshall would be heading to the dugout.
Sean Smith, a double run scored in the first inning. Bottom of the second. When West Virginia beat Marshall 3-0 at Huntington this year, Hagan, Korn, Basinger, and Perez combined on a 1-hit shutout. And 3-0. Albright, who was at Indiana 2 years ago, and has 2 wins pitching for Marshall. His first win as a member of the Herd was at Morehead State in April of last year. Smith walks. And Blaine Albright picked up a win this year in the Marshall victory over Evansville in February. First and third, 2 outs for Guzman. (5-1) West Virginia leads. 2-0. And with that, catcher Golden is going to deliver the baseball to Albright.
A lot of action in the Marshall bullpen, but nobody throwing yet. There we go. Now I see a jersey.
In this inning, West Virginia scored 3 in the first, and then Marshall had a 1-run top of the second. West Virginia 2 here in the bottom of the second inning.
Peyton Jackson is the Marshall pitcher warming up. Peyton Jackson, not from Ohio.
First and third, 2 outs. 3-1. I don't think Ashland, Kentucky's all that far though from Ohio.
No, right across the river.
And ball 4, bases loaded.
The Ohio River.
I think there are a lot of folks that know that the Cincinnati airport is in Covington, Kentucky. Now bases loaded. Here's Aaron Blair. Aaron Blair, during his time as a pitcher for Marshall, had a 6-inning performance against West Virginia and gave up no hits. 2013 season, Aaron was first team Conference USA pitcher.
He'll spend some time in pro ball as well.
First round pick of the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
And now Matt Robaugh, who will celebrate a birthday on Saturday. Bases loaded, 2 outs. It is 5-1 West Virginia. Hey, just for the fun of it.
Okay.
And Jason, you can jump in on this too. Give me an ending time for this game. Just give me.
Oh gosh, let's do 10:25.
No, come on.
Fine, 11:25.
What do you say, Jason? 9:55.
$1, Bob.
One pitch. Ball fouled away. I told you before the game that it was, and it's true. My mother told me I have to be in when the street lights go on.
Well, the street lights are on. I don't think you're going to leave me with play-by-play duties.
No, I wouldn't want to do that.
No.
I love doing play-by-play too much. I just love doing it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 2 outs, 5-1 West Virginia. And now 2-2. There is nothing better in all of sports broadcasting than announce to do play-by-play, in my opinion. And there's no better play-by-play job than to do baseball play-by-play.
Baseball is fun.
8th batter of the inning. Out number 3, West Virginia picks up 2 runs on 3 hits. After 2, the Mountaineers 5, the Thundering Herd 1.
Don't forget to stop by the
leadership abilities. Park. I mean, Greg's been around the game a long, long time. He had a little beef with the home plate umpire during the bottom of the second. So now he comes out between the bottom of the second, top of the third, and they have a, and you bring your lineup card out like, you're talking about something else.
Yeah, you're not saying, hey, I probably shouldn't have raised my voice there. I apologize. Let's move on. Ben McDougal, just his second appearance on the year. Ben has not thrown for West Virginia since the first weekend at Georgia Southern, where he threw 1/3 of an inning. Last year made 19 relief appearances on the mound and was really one of West Virginia's heroes out of the bullpen in that Clemson Regional last year. So a big postseason contributor for West Virginia, and hasn't had very many outings so far this year.
Boy, you can do two things at once, can't you?
I can chew gum and walk at the same time, but that's about it.
Talk about the pitcher, and you can also find the spare microphone all at the same time. Wait a minute, Brett, would you turn on Mr. Baker's microphone, please? If I give you $1, audio person. Well, how was Las Vegas?
6 days is a long time in Vegas land. Like, that's a long time. Vegas is a 48-hour town for people my age.
Is that good news or bad news?
You know what? I don't gamble much, and I have a very strict limit, so I left not too bad off. I didn't take any money from them. I didn't get any of the winnings from the purse, but great time. Really proud of our kids, and they really played well out there. Some great games.
Yeah, somebody made away with some cash.
They did. It's interesting. They got a formula based on the kids' social media following and their statistics. So it was just really, we didn't have to make that decision. The tournament has a formula, but it was really neat to see kind of how they do that.
That is cool. Social media is a platform where kids can go on and people can go on and talk to each other.
That's a little bit of an ageism remark there.
It's the young whippersnapper against the old fogey. And my apologies. We were supposed to be interviewing Coach Beals here. I messed up big time by not noticing that, but we're talking to Ren Baker, the athletic director at West Virginia. What did I read? Hunter Huff?
Yeah.
Hunter Huff, 38 points, right?
Yeah.
Do I have that right?
Yeah, he's a great shooter, probably one of the best shooters you'll ever see. And, over the course of a Big 12 schedule, he's a small guy. And they're really physical with him. I think he was a little beat up, worn down the stretch. But that 2-week layoff, man, he come out ready to play and shot the ball as well as anybody I've ever seen. It was interesting just watching the opposing coaches when he would turn it loose and they'd see it go in from all over the place. And, it was a great tournament, put on well. And, one of the things I walked away from, and I always do, but you know how much WVU means to fans here and how much people love the Mountaineers. But when you go across the country like that and people that don't get to see them very often, met a couple of people that hadn't seen a game in person in 7 or 8 years, and you win a great game and there's tears and there's excitement. You just, it's almost like they're not living in West Virginia anymore, but you're bringing West Virginia to them.
And what I like is that there was this opportunity for particularly the seniors to extend their college season.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to talk kids into playing. These kids wanted to keep playing. They loved each other, very close. I mean, even during that break, a bunch of them went to Florida together. So, and so, I think they really enjoyed the tournament, and we enjoyed it. And I'll say this: I watched the games, against UCF. We had the great, exciting win there on Saturday. But I just want to give a shout out. I was getting texts from administrators and people affiliated with the UCF program about how classy our fans were with the pitcher that took one off the face, and what a great job that our medical people did very quickly assessing him, getting him in, and what a great job WVU Medicine did. And so that makes you feel good as an AD when someone else's child is in a situation like that, and there's nothing but kind words and positive remarks about how they were treated in the sportsmanship. You
really enjoy this West Virginia Marshall matchup, don't you?
I do. especially when the good guys are winning. So, yeah, it is. Like, listen, when we're not playing Marshall, I know probably not every fan feels this way. I root for Marshall when we're not playing them. And I hope that they feel the same, because what's good for this state is good for all of us. And I think Marshall having a healthy program, us having a healthy program is positive. And got some great friends there. Love Gerald, their AD. You know, Brad is obviously the president there, is a great man, does a lot for the state, not just for Marshall. And so, yeah, we've got a great relationship with them. But anytime we do match up out here on the diamond, we want to walk away the winner.
And West Virginia's turned into a soccer state as well, thanks to West Virginia and Marshall.
Such great matchups. Yeah, I tell people all the time, the energy when we play Marshall in soccer, you're not going to find a more energetic environment than that.
Base hit in the right center field. And Marshall has posted its second run.
So 2 hit by pitches. Kammerer and Henson both getting hit by a pitch, and Havrilla in his second plate appearance, but his first at-bat delivers the RBI there.
Brent, thanks for stopping up.
Always a pleasure.
And if you need a few bucks after Vegas, Tyler Barnett is overpaid, so he'll be.
Let me tell you, I needed a few bucks and I needed a lot of rest, but I'm back on the mend.
I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks, guys.
Ren Baker, the athletic director of WVU. Havrilla, his 20th RBI, nobody out. We'll chat with we will chat with Greg Beals in the bottom of the inning. That was the plan all along. 5-2 as McDougal's come on here in the third. And as Halter shows bunt and takes a strike. Jack Halter is his dad Frank works for Diamond Bank down in Texas. Fly ball left field. Near the line on the catch by Smith. 1 out. Runners hold. Ensign at second. Havrilla at first. Talking about Jack Halter, is his mom Tiffany is an accountant for Red River Credit Union in Texas, and Jack has 2 brothers. And now Jackson Golden 0 for 1. West Virginia leads 5-2 here in the top of the third inning.
Ian Korn still throwing in that West Virginia bullpen. And we mentioned McDougal, only 1 appearance this year, hasn't thrown since February, the trip to Georgia Southern. So not really expecting Ben to be on top of things here, but definitely got to get him some work and start to work him back into the rotation, because like we mentioned last year in the regional, he was a key cog to that West Virginia bullpen that was so effective near the end of the year last year.
Well, for Ben, his mom Wendy's a teacher's aide at Simpson Elementary. He told me his dad Todd flips houses. Well, fouled back,
so
and
his dad must be very strong.
You're amazing. Ben's brother Jack's freshman at WVU. Anderson, a junior in high school, basketball player. Easton, a freshman basketball player. Ground ball to third. Hall to second for one. Double play. Around the horn, Hall to Kelly to Guzman. 1 run on 1 hit. And after 2.5, 5-2 West Virginia. Greg Beals will join us in a moment. Together in a tremendous career in baseball, playing at Kent State and some time in the Mets organization. And I figured it out. I got you with 656 wins in your college coaching career. That's most impressive.
Well, thank you. Thanks for counting. I didn't know where the number was.
Well, I hope I got it right. How do you feel about this matchup between West Virginia and Marshall?
Well, it's good for our state of West Virginia and trying to promote baseball at the high school and lower levels to have the two main schools in this state competing and letting people know that you can play baseball and you can play good baseball here in West Virginia.
Hey, we talked before the game, and you had mentioned you wanted to see your guys grind out some at-bats a little bit better today. Harthen grinded one out and ended up scoring, and then you got a couple of guys standing their ground, taking hit by pitches, led to a couple of runs for you so far.
Well, we got to do that. You know, the hit by pitch is something that you got to be willing to take, and our guys are certainly willing to do that. We got to put up a 0 here on the defensive side.
So you started Collins today. You just wanted to get him in there because it was his turn to throw today. Is that what you told Tyler?
You know, he's a weekend starter for us. He had a short start last weekend at App State, and today would have been his bullpen day. So we wanted to get him some work and get him back out there. And you know, it didn't quite work out the way we wanted to. We got to a pitch count that we were, you know, comfortable with as far as his workout goes, and got him out of there.
Tell us a little bit about Evan Batone, 388 batting average, leading the team in home runs as well.
Yeah, just, you know, he's got a short, compact swing. He's got some twitch in his body. He's fast. He runs well and rips off some pretty good bat speed.
And Tyler was saying that you have great respect for your shortstop, Jack Smith.
He's a defender. He really defends well, and he got a big hit up the middle for an RBI as well. We can get some offense out of him. He plays a really good defense.
Greg, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys. Got to finish the play here. Got it.
Indeed.
All right, thanks guys.
Well done by Simpson. And one away. Greg Beals
gets the out for Peyton Jackson. Peyton Jackson, a new pitcher on for Marshall. Sophomore, as we mentioned earlier, from Ashland, Kentucky. And Jackson 0-2 on the year, 7 appearances, has started a game, also has a save.
And now Gravlin 0 for 1. Coach Beals, I was mentioning that He and his wife Kathy have 3 daughters. They all played volleyball. Kayla, a graduate of Ohio State, has opened a photo business. Amber went to school in Michigan and then Florida International, and now lives in Boston. And Morgan, a graduate of the University of Cincinnati, and is teaching. Line drive to left, and Hinson to make the catch. 2 down.
Batting next for the Mountaineers, third baseman, number 8, Tyrus Hall.
And now Hall singled and scored in the second. Ball game in the bottom of the third, and West Virginia leads 5-2. For Peyton Jackson, his first college win was April 22nd last year against Moorhead State. He went 3 scoreless innings in that ball game. And Jackson has 1 save this year, the save in the Marshall win at Evansville on February the 13th. And ball 4.
So it'll be a 3rd time here through the West Virginia lineup. Einish, 2 singles. Gavin Kelly, a single and a double. And then Schoenfeld, a fielder's choice. Another double by Sean Smith. Single and a walk by Guzman. So top 5 hitters of West Virginia. Done a lot of the damage so far tonight. Tyrus Hall, 11 stolen bases on the year. Probably not a bad time, especially with a strike on Einish. Try to take off here. If he does get thrown out, then you can lead off with your leadoff guy.
Count 0-2. Hall at first, 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Huge jump, and Golden will not throw through.
Not even worth a throw. Got such a good jump that he got scared and just started to go back.
And a pitch in, and Einish was tied up, strikes out, no runs, no hits, a walk. 1 left after 3, West Virginia 5, Marshall 2.
Baseball team on Facebook and follow.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Hi, we're WVU. You probably know us for screaming. And yeah, we're pretty good at it. But here, it's more than a chant. It's our celebration of innovation.
Let's go.
Our rallying cry for community.
Let's go!
And honestly, it's just our way of life. So whether you're chasing big dreams or just chasing sunsets.
Let's go!
You might think occupational therapy is something to do with getting you back to work, but it's actually so much more than that. We give people back their independence. We break down their daily life. What's meaningful to you? What do you feel has been taken? And what can we do to help make you feel more independent? When a patient tells me that they did this one thing that they weren't able to do, knowing that you gave them the tools to succeed is really rewarding.
Back here at Kendrick Family Ballpark, talking with Steve Sabins earlier, he told me Armani Guzman is a raw athlete that has some of the best talent in the country. When you look at his experience and his work ethic, you're seeing a guy coming into his own this season, and Sabins told me he is confident he could play any position on the diamond. He said that really goes to his willingness and his egoless mindset, but also his physicality. He put on some weight in the off-season, and Sabins told me if he would train and eat like everybody else, he would be an NFL running back. So they have to make sure that even though he's flexible and naturally lean, that he keeps that power in check out on the diamond.
Thanks, Angelica. And we have a new pitcher for West Virginia.
New pitcher is Ian Korn, the senior transfer from Seton Hill. Division II. Seton Hill was the Division II pitcher of the year last year. And you see Korn on for his 9th appearance. In those in relief, been sort of West Virginia's long reliever. Anytime gets a short start out of one of its weekend starters, Korn comes in and typically goes 4 to 5 innings for West Virginia.
Well, follow it. Keep in mind that this game was supposed to be played on Tuesday. Now it's Wednesday.
Yes.
Team flies out to Texas Tech tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning at like 9 a.m. I think is when their flight leaves.
And so the concern would be how many guys can you use tonight with the series in Texas against Texas Tech one day closer.
This game getting moved back kind of on both ends. You know, West Virginia played on Easter Sunday. Marshall did not. So Marshall has been off Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then they get Thursday off. And I forget who it is that they said that they had this weekend.
They have Old Dominion.
Old Dominion.
One away, Marshall is home to Old Dominion Friday night at 6, Saturday at 5, and then Sunday 1 p.m. And Greg Beals, the former head coach of Ohio State, Marshall will be in Columbus on April 15th. And Simpson, Korn's win this year was here at the Kendrick Family Ballpark, the win over BYU when West Virginia won the Friday game of that 3-game series, which was the middle game. West Virginia won 12-10. And 2-1. Top of the 4th inning, and it is 5-2 West Virginia. Full count. Two outs.
Korn dials up the fastball there, 93. 15 inches of run there on that slider.
Jack Smith, RBI single in the second. Jack was telling us earlier that he is the youngest of 6. He has 2 brothers, Ben and Nick. He has 3 sisters, Kelly, Julianne, and Amy. Jack's dad is a retired lawyer. Mom Maureen. Jack from the Queen City of Ohio. Count 2-1. Well, West Virginia grabbed a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Marshall scored a run in the top of the second. West Virginia a 2-run second. Marshall a 1-run third.
Hunter Richardson is throwing in Marshall's bullpen.
Pitch away and a check swing from Smith. And the ruling of the first base umpire sustains the ruling of the home plate umpire. Corn's 3-2 pitch. Guzman. Marshall retired 1-2-3 on the top of the fourth after 3.5. West Virginia 5, Marshall 2. Were 6 teams yesterday, 6 ranked teams that were beaten. Now keep in mind, Kansas, that's a good ball club. Kansas in second place in the Big 12, knocking off number 19 Nebraska. And Virginia loses to James Madison, and UC Santa Barbara knocking off 14th ranked UFC. And then the Texas State win over A&M. Washington State 1 run better than number 7 Oregon State.
Another one that's
Jacksonville State clobbers Auburn.
Another one not on that. Bethune-Cookman beat LSU yesterday as well. So ranked LSU losing 10-7 to Bethune-Cookman. And then a new pitcher on for Marshall, Hunter Richardson, the freshman left-hander from Vandalia, Ohio. And Richardson, this is his 5th appearance, 9.45 ERA and 6 2/3 innings pitched. Giving up 3 doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs in his outings this year.
Richardson also a position player in that he's had 1 at bat this year. Gavin Kelly, RBI single in the first, RBI double in the second. So Collins went 2/3 of an inning. Albright inning and a third. Jackson 1 inning. West Virginia at Texas Tech this weekend. Strike called. The games this weekend at Texas Tech are Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Texas Tech is 5-7 in the Big 12 and is currently tied for 8th place.
Last time West Virginia was in Lubbock was 2024, and they swept Texas Tech. That was Randy Mazey's last year. I remember because I mentioned to Sabins before the game. I said, do you have a play this year, or do you have a plan this year for whenever the ball boy jumps in and catches a double down the line? Because that happened to West Virginia last time they were in Lubbock. It was a hot shot down the right field line, and the ball boy leans over, grabs the ball. He called a double, a ground, or a book rule double, and then held everybody up at the bases. So instead of scoring, West Virginia had second and third, didn't score that inning.
We will be talking to Steve Sabins when we get to the top of the 5th. An attempt by Schoenfeld, strike one. Steve in his second year as the head coach, already 65 wins for Steve, 44 last year, a program record, and then 21 so far this year. Get into the night. And near the line, Hinson one away. Kelly at first, 5-2 West Virginia.
Number 11, Sean Smith.
Steve Sabins talking about Texas. Steve is from Austin, Texas, and received his master's from Oklahoma State. Coached at Oklahoma State. Steve and his wife Linda, or excuse me, he and his wife Tabitha. His mom's name is Linda. Proud parents of 2. Count remains 0-2. RBIs early going. Kelly 2, Schoenfeld 1, Guzman 1. 1 run came home by way of a fielder's choice off a caught stealing. And the 2 RBIs for Marshall. Smith has 1 and Hinson 1. Ground ball to short. Smith, Kammerer, Havrilla. No runs, no hits, a walk, double play, nobody left. Steve Sabins will join us in a moment. West Virginia leads 5-2.
Single game tickets for the Big
15 as West Virginia has jumped out to a 21-7 record overall. Steve Sabins joins us. Steve, any big deal that you're playing this game Wednesday and your matchups and how you want to lay it out for Texas Tech this weekend?
I think ideally we would have played Tuesday just to have a little bit more time before Texas Tech, but weather was cold. Our guys were battling sickness and illness, so probably not a bad thing to be able to have an extra day of sleep and recovery a little bit. So beautiful night. The crowd's ridiculous. They showed up big time, so all good here.
Yeah, West Virginia loves playing Marshall. How about getting Ben McDougal back? How big is that?
Yeah, it's huge, man. And gotten a little bit of trouble, but he hadn't been in there for so long. So the fact that he hit a couple guys, we just have so much trust. Let it go foul. We have so much trust in that guy. And then he got out of the inning, got the big double play ball. Kid's a dog. The guy performs at a high level, so we got to get him back cooking. He's going to be a big part of this thing down the stretch.
Well, you really, you mentioned this during the press conference early in the season about versatility. You've certainly shown some great versatility in your ball club. Now you have Smith out there in left field for a second time this year.
Yeah, fired up for Smith. That guy's been training in the outfield for so long and didn't have any starts. And Kresser's got a lower back that's a little bit tight, so we were able to throw Smith in left field and DH row ball tonight. So we got some versatility, and he's playing his normal position, which is left field. He's been training there all year, just hadn't been in there a ton.
And another gem from Guzman today.
Yep, that guy can play some defense. He's been playing at a high level. Kelly's swinging the hell out of it. He's really having quality at-bats right now. This is high-level offense from Gavin Kelly. Really fun to watch.
Steve, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You're in the fifth for Marshall, top of the batting order. And one away.
Great slider there from Korn.
Up next, for Marshall,
Just back door right over the outer half there.
And now Tyler Kammerer from Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Tyler's dad is Terry. Well off the line, Guzman, but Korn is there to do what he is supposed to do. Anything right side of the mound?
Get over.
Get over, yes indeed.
It's a lost art anymore. A lot of guys just don't do it the way that they're supposed to. Anything hit to that side of you, just go. Just don't worry about anything else. If the first baseman gets back, then you can stop halfway. You're not going to be in anybody's way. Just go, get over there, make that reaction.
Now 5 in a row retired by Korn. And now Cooper Hinson walked in the first, hit by a pitch in the third. Ball game here in the top of the fifth inning, and it is 5-2 West Virginia. In recent history, Marshall has enjoyed a couple of walk-off wins against West Virginia. Liner to left. Dropping in as Smith tried to make the sliding catch. And Hinson now with an 8-game hitting streak as he delivers the opposite field 2-out base hit.
Those balls, opposite field hit balls, especially from lefties. Lefties do a great job of getting their hands inside. And that ball slices away, slices toward the foul line. It's a tough play to make for Smith, but a good job by keeping it in front of him. That ball gets over, you're looking at a triple, maybe more.
I think I inadvertently said Hinson had an RBI in this game. That's not right. Havrilla was the member of the thundering herd that knocked in the second run of the game in the third. And a called strike. A.J. Havrilla had a walk-off grand slam and a 4-hit game against Ohio in early March of last year. And also A.J. with a 7 RBI game against Georgia Tech in February of last year.
thought they got that slider called there.
With Graveline holding the glove in one spot for a long time. 3-2. 2 outs, 1 on. Top of the 5th inning. Runner going on the payoff pitch. And we'll do it again. A shot to the gap in right center field. Hinson on his way to third. He is going to be waved in. The relay from Kelly out at the plate. Inning over. Navarrete with a base hit, his second of the ball game, but Hinson is denied. And West Virginia lead. The lead is still 5-2 Mountaineers.
I lay down the floor on the break. Now trying to drive to the lane for layup. It's good! West puts up a three-pointer. It is good! Jared West hits a three-point shot. The West Virginia Mountaineers are going to the Final Four. And it is a great night to be a Mountaineer, wherever you may be.
Proven results stand the test of time. United Bank, West Virginia's bank, proud to be united with the Mountaineers.
What brings you joy, like in life?
When I draw, everything that I saw that day is what I put on the paper.
Now that Laura's feeling better, we can have lots of dance parties. I can go on my tippy because I play.
I want to million follows. I want to make people see what I do.
Being an athlete with a heart problem, I don't have any limitations. I still want to be the best player.
That was so much fun. Nice. High five.
Well, the relay from Schoenfeld to Kelly to the plate.
So runner on first base, really the only thing that's going to score that runner, even with that start, is an extra base hit. That a single, and Hinson dead to rights. I mean, it's kind of looked like he was just planning on holding up at third, but then as he got the wave, tried to kick it into another gear, but by that time, Kelly had already fielded the ball and was throwing it home.
And Guzman leads off the bottom of the 5th.
Tech problems here.
You know, if I saw that replay right, I believe that Hinson slid into the leg of the home plate umpire.
Yeah. More tech problems. So they're not getting the call on the thing.
On the thing.
On the thing.
Yeah. And
see there the thing.
Yeah, and then if you really want to complicate it, then it becomes a thingamabob.
Thingamabob on the wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the thingamabob on the wrist and the thingamabob in the hat.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that'll be probably as I'm driving home tonight. I'll be thinking that, Lanny, that was the high point of your broadcast tonight.
That thing.
The reaching for that great descriptive word, and
pulling,
wanting to use more than one syllable.
You reach into your bag of words and you pull out
thing. I'm serious. I do. I spend a lot of time telling my students that I teach at Waynesburg University, you've got to improve your vocabulary. You've got to come up with, a great vocabulary so that when you need that word, you can reach into your brain and know that it's the right word for the moment. Guzman bunt single and an RBI in the first, walked in the second.
Tries it again. With the lefty on the mound, that lefty's falling off to the third base side. So with a lefty at the plate, if you can take that bunt and lay it just past the pitcher's mound, you force that second baseman to come up and field that slow roller that we've seen a couple of times today. But with the speed of Guzman, that play gets a whole lot closer.
And borders on becoming impossible.
Yes.
Roll ball to follow, then Wills. And the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And 2-2. West Virginia scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first, 2 runs in the second. For Marshall, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. One out.
Now batting for West Virginia, the designated
Elevated fastball there.
Matthew Robaugh.
88 on the strikeout.
Robaugh has walked and struck out. Last half of the 5th inning. I commented earlier about the fact that Marshall has won 2 games from West Virginia in recent history, walk-off fashion. In Huntington in April of 2024, Marshall won 3-2 in 11 innings. Caden Kaiser had the walk-off single. Drive to left field. Edge of the track is Robaugh thinking about his not only first home run as a college player, but first extra base hit, 2 down. The other walk-off win for Marshall was late April in Charleston last year. Marshall won 7-6. Havrilla scored on a throwing error. As Wills steps in, strike 1. The left-hander Richardson, his second inning of work. He has retired 4 of 5 and benefited from a nice, clean, crisp double play. Fly ball left center field. And third put out of the last 2 innings for left fielder Hinson. 5-2 West Virginia. We go to the 6th. Town Game Live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to espn.com/MLB.TV. Here in the 6th inning, Kelly says, I have it. Halter on number 1.
Batting now for Marshall, the catcher, number 7, Jackson Golden.
The 3rd inning for Korn. And Golden's fly ball to right field. Wills handles the second of 2 quick outs here in the top of the 6th inning.
Now coming to bat for Marshall, the center fielder, number 25, Cam Harthen.
And now Harthen mentioned earlier that Cam is from Rhode Island, Cumberland, Rhode Island. I was chatting with him before the ball game. His dad John died 6.5 years ago. His mom Lori is a project manager. Cam happens to be an only child. 1 for 2 in this game. And that's what Tyler was talking about last inning. As a pitcher, you just go towards first base and the first baseman will wave you off. Is 5-7 after 4 weekends. Houston is 3-9. UCF leading the conference with a record of 10-1, or 10-2 rather, and Kansas in second place, 9-3. Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Arizona, TCU, Utah, Arizona State, Baylor, Cincinnati.
Oklahoma State coming off a series where they swept Cincinnati and then turned around and lost to Oral Roberts yesterday.
And Graveline leads off with a base hit. 3rd inning for Richardson. Oklahoma State was swept its first weekend of the season at UCF.
And also TCU picked to be near the top of the conference, and they lost 2 out of 3 at Kansas State this weekend, and then dropped midweek to Abilene Christian. Abilene Christian just 1-2 in the WAC, 17-16 overall, so not a great season so far for Abilene Christian.
And Hall singled and scored in the second, walked in the third. Sacrifice bunt, moving Graveland to second.
I think it was my best inning of work last inning.
We had.
I didn't say a word.
And the social media was just lighting up.
Finally. 4 pitches for Korn last inning.
Einitz 2 for 3. 5-2 West Virginia. And a called strike. Down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. West Virginia playing at Texas Tech this weekend. Last year, Texas Tech was here at the Kendrick Family Ballpark, and West Virginia won 2 out of 3 in the second game of a doubleheader on that May 3rd. Reese Bessinger in relief, went 7 innings, gave up just 2 runs, and was the winning pitcher. One of the high points of that weekend, the last time Texas Tech was here. 3-1 now on Einitz. And ball 4. You mentioned earlier that the Mountaineers are flying out at 9:30. They're flying out at 9:30 or leaving here at 9:30?
Leaving here at 9:30.
Idea how it would go Pittsburgh to where to get to Lubbock?
Yeah.
How
the
idea?
Don't know. Don't know. Does Lubbock have an airport?
Gavin Kelly, RBI single in the first, RBI double in the second.
So top 5 college prospects in the 2027 draft. Gavin Kelly coming in at number 5 as a catcher, second baseman. So Gavin Kelly not eligible for the draft this year. 1 more year left, but pretty high honors for the sophomore. Because especially if you consider also on that list, I think it was down near number 7, is that Landon Hairston that WVU just faced from Arizona State. At the week after he played West Virginia, he was the Big 12 Player of the Week, had 5 home runs, 10 hits across the week.
Pitch high. It would be a major plus for Northeastern baseball, and particularly this area, should Gavin Kelly have success and make it to the major leagues, like J.J. Weatherholt from Mars, Pennsylvania, north of Pittsburgh. Fly ball, right field. 2 outs. And Graveland goes to third, the throw into second base, and Einitz stays put.
Now coming to the plate for West Virginia, the center fielder, and number 6, Paul Schoenfeld.
Neil Walker, Pittsburgher, much success in the major leagues. My former broadcast partner, John Wayner, Carrick young man. Here's Schoenfeld. Bottom of the 6th, 5-2, West Virginia. By the way, I was not trying to give you a complete list of players from Pittsburgh that have been successful.
just a couple.
You know, I mean, just like Sean. I mean, I can stop and Sean Casey from Upper St. Clair.
Could fly into Lubbock, Texas. There's an international airport in Lubbock.
So what's the connecting flight? Is it Atlanta like most of the world, or Chicago?
Maybe.
Or
Could be. I don't have the itinerary.
First and third, 2 outs.
See,
and the bases are loaded.
That's a big word for me.
Itinerary?
Itinerary. See, I reach into a bag, and that's the word I pull.
Now batting for West Virginia, the left
I could have easily said, I don't have the travel thing.
See, if you had your atlas, you'd be. Here's Sean Smith, grand slam against Arizona State. And a pitching change coming up here. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. West Virginia has the bases loaded, 2 outs. And the Mountaineers are leading 5-2.
Our kids are growing. And growing. And growing. But growing up doesn't always come easy. So we'll grow with them. Grow our skills, grow our reach, until all our kids get to grow up healthy. Growing up doesn't stop, not for one moment. And neither do we.
The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes. The NCAA programs deliver $4 billion in scholarships every year. Those D1 scholarships are now guaranteed. Health and well-being services are mandatory. Student athletes get tutoring as well as financial literacy coaching because almost everyone is going pro in something other than sports. The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes.
Not everybody's happy about the fact that it's taken a while for Marshall to get its new pitcher out of the bullpen.
Alex Caudill is that new pitcher. Eighth appearance on the year for the junior from Bellefontaine, Ohio. And you can see there 14 2/3 innings, 13 strikeouts in those. That's, my math is correct, Lanny, almost 1 per inning.
We've spent a good bit of time talking about geography tonight. I want to point out to you that Greg Beals is from Springfield, Ohio, and for someone like myself who spent so much time as a broadcaster with the Pittsburgh Pirates, Springfield, Ohio, you have to think of Harvey Haddix, who on May 26th of 1959 pitched perfect baseball into the 13th inning, only to lose that game in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the old county stadium. And I'm not sure that there's a lot of folks that know this, but I mean, everybody in Pittsburgh knows about the Mazeroski home run that beat the New York Yankees on October 13th of 1960. And a lot of folks who even know the time of the winning hit know the time of Mazeroski's home run as being 3:34 in the afternoon, mainly because of the clock that was above the scoreboard in left field as Maz's home run sailed left center field to the right of the scoreboard. But I'm not sure a lot of folks know that Harvey Haddix was the winning pitcher in that ball game.
Coming to the plate for West Virginia.
So now Smith with the bases loaded.
Sean Smith.
I just gathered the itinerary.
Yeah, you have sources. You have sources. So where are they going?
I think I got it from the social media machine. So they are going Pittsburgh to Dallas, then Dallas to Lubbock. My source said they were busing from Dallas to Lubbock, and I said, you guys are taking a plane and then you're going to bus 6 hours? No, a flight, sorry, flight.
0-2 on Smith. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning.
.93 on that fastball.
Runner at third is Gravelin. Einish at second. Schoenfeld at first. Wild pitch. Gravelin scores 6-2 West Virginia. Einish to third, Schoenfeld to second. Second and third, 2 outs with a run in. Fly ball into right center field. Base hit. Einish scores. 7-2 Mountaineers. Schoenfeld scores. 8-2 West Virginia on the 2-run double. And it's his second double of the ball game for Sean Smith.
Second double of the ball game. 22nd RBI on the year. And Sean Smith settled into that 4-hole 2-3 weeks ago, roughly. He's really excelled there. A free swinger in the 4-hole position right there leads to two RBI for West Virginia.
Now Guzman. And a foul ball. Guzman 1 for 2 with an RBI, and the base hit was a bunt single. And 2. Greg Beals has spent a good bit of time tonight conferring with the home plate umpire.
Said that the ball was foul tipped into the catcher's mitts, which would be strike 3 and out 3, and that is something that they can review. You know, Beals hasn't used the challenge yet today either. Both challenges earlier today have been used by West Virginia. 1-1, lost 1. Cannot review it. I think you can review fair foul down the lines, but I don't think that you can review a foul tip.
Well, we'll give you a look at it.
We can review. We can't change any calls, but we can review all we want. It would have been hard to overturn anyways.
Runner going. Throw to third. Out at third.
Sabins is going to review this.
Steve has a card left in his pocket.
He's got
right?
one left, yes. They haven't taken that away from him yet. It was an awkward play. Caudle saw it, stepped back, made the throw, but Simpson fell down while he caught it. Made the tag in the chest, but the thought is that Smith slid around it. They have to get the only angle that we'd be able to see to overturn that would be that third base camera. Can't see that. That left hand slide in blocks any view from this side of the field.
West Virginia has an 8-2 lead as we await the decision of the umpires. Bottom of the 6th inning. West Virginia scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st. It was 5-1 after 2 innings, 5-2 after 2.5. Now this 3-run bottom of the 6th. We'll see if the inning is over or whether.
What time did I guess? Did you write my time down?
I did, right? 10:25.
10:25.
Jason said 9:55.
Mine's looking a little bit more likely.
Well, we've gone through 6 innings in 2 hours and 20 minutes to this point. And the 6th inning isn't over yet.
We might take this review to 9:55.
Out at third. So in the bottom of the 6th inning, 3 runs on 2 hits. Nobody left on base. West Virginia 8, Marshall 2.
The air feels different on fall Saturdays in West Virginia. Familiar roads lead us on early morning drives to a place where we feel alive. And traditions bring together a fierce fan base, united by the same passion: West Virginia football. As West Virginia's bank, we've been there, and we'll continue to be there. United Bank, proud to be united with the Mountaineers.
Hi, we're WVU. You probably know us for screaming. And yeah, we're pretty good at it. But here, it's more than a chant. It's our celebration of innovation.
Let's go.
Our rallying cry for community.
Let's go!
And honestly, it's just our way of life. So whether you're chasing big dreams or just chasing sunsets.
Let's go!
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
Carson Estridge on for West Virginia. Junior from Haymarket, Virginia. And Estridge fastball that'll run up 91. Then he throws a curveball down in the low 70s, high 60s. So big speed difference there.
Carson Estridge, the winning pitcher in Huntington, April 15th of last year. It was the game in which Swain stole home and West Virginia won it 5-4. And Carson's first win this year was here at home against Maryland. The Estridge save was at Georgia Southern in middle February. Carson a win at Arizona a week ago yesterday, and also a win on Saturday. The 11-10 win, line drive off the glove of Kelly, safe at first, and Simpson's aboard.
E4.
Up next for Marshall, shortstop number 22, Jack Smith.
And now Jack Smith, 1 for 2 with an RBI.
Good thing Simpson kept running there. A lot of guys would probably slow up, hitting a line drive right at the second baseman like that, but Simpson didn't slow down. Reaches first.
West Virginia on top 8-2. Hagan went 2 innings, gave up 1 run. McDougal 1 inning, 1 run. Korn 3 scoreless innings. (2-0). After Smith comes to the top of the batting order. And now 3-0. Three and 1. Estridge in his college career has 10 wins and 11 saves. Fly ball towards the right field corner and out of play, and Will Somerset's over that right field fence, but he's all right. Maybe this gets him on sports. Yeah, do you have to make that catch to be?
I think you do, yeah.
Do you have to make the catch to get in the top 10?
Unfortunately, I do think that you have to make that catch.
It can't be a web gem.
He tried. He tried. He left his feet at the foul line, and the fence took his legs out.
I wonder if there's a book for producers at ESPN about what the definition of what
some guidelines.
A web gem.
Yeah. I think it has to hit the web. I think the ball has to find its way into the web.
Has to find leather, huh?
Yeah.
3-2 pitch. Ground ball, base hit into right field. And Simpson to second, 2 men aboard, nobody out. Second hit for Jack Smith.
Do you want to know how good a first base Monty Guzman has been playing this year? I
Yeah,
fully
please don't.
expected him to make that play. But that was just a perfectly placed ground ball. Yep, just hit off of the web.
And now Batone. Evan telling us earlier that his dad Lou is a fire inspector, Shaker Heights, and Mom Kelly works for Progressive Fitness. Evan has one sibling. His sister Ava is a junior in high school, plays softball. And 1 ball, 1 strike. With Simpson at second base and Smith at first. Got 1 and 2. Nobody out, 2 men on. One out. Second time that Batone has been caught looking.
72 miles an hour, backdoor breaking ball.
Second baseman number 2, Tyler Kamer.
Kammerer 0 for 2 has scored a run. Hall, 2 outs.
Kammerer with a couple infield pop-ups.
University left fielder number 15, Cooper Henson.
Flew out to, is that Guzman back in the first and then a hit by pitch.
And now Henson. Henson has 2 home runs as a member of the Marshall baseball team, and he hit them back-to-back days in February on the 13th against Evansville and against Kennesaw State on the 14th. Base hit into right field. Simpson around third, throw to the plate. Out! Marshall's had a second runner thrown out at the plate in this ball game. Will they review it?
Yes, that one was a lot closer than the first one, but it did look like Gravlin tagged the arm before Simpson made it to the plate. Those are the ground balls that outfielders dream of. Will's able to get behind that ball, get some momentum going toward the plate, deliver a nice one hop to his catcher, right on line. Out.
Simpson, who had reached on an error, trying to score from second on Henson's second hit of the game, and Henson on base all 4 times in this ball game.
Wills might have made himself a top 10 play after all.
Well, it was Henson who was thrown out at the plate in the 5th inning on the relay, went from center field to from Schoenfeld to Kelly to the plate to Gravelin.
Record time review there.
What does that tell you? That he's out. No runs, 2 hits, an error. 2 left on base. 8-2 West Virginia.
At the plate, only 1 run in those 2 games. I talked to Steve Sabins about it earlier, and he said that the past 2 days of practice have been really good, and he thinks guys are in a better spot, and that's just what the season demands. He said offensively, there's less control. There is so much that goes into it. It's the pitchers. It's how the bodies are moving at the plate. It's also mental. The littlest things can just throw off the swing, but he thought that offensively they would come out better today, and it looks like it so far, guys.
New pitcher for Marshall, A.J. Mechanish from Columbus, Ohio.
6th pitcher of the game for Marshall.
And 6 appearances on the year for Mechanish.
Guzman's foul ball. Armani 1 for 2 today. He was at the plate, gets a fresh start here in the 7th. At the plate when Smith was caught stealing. This Simpson, third baseman. Safe.
Great job there hitting against the shift. It's a lot of ground for Simpson.
No, that was
cover.
Smith. That was Smith.
Was it Smith? Okay,
yeah.
That's a lot. That's what a lot of shifts will have. The shortstop fielding that position because that's your shortstop's normal position. They're used to having that type of range, and then move the third baseman into that hole between the shortstop and second baseman. So, but still a tough play for Smith to be able to make.
Guzman was caught stealing for the first time this year back in the first inning. Now picks up his 20th stolen base. Oh, and 2. Robaugh for 2 in the ball game. He is the West Virginia designated hitter today. Bottom of the 7th inning, 8-2 West Virginia leads. 1 out.
West Virginia, the right fielder.
12-6 curveball there, and that's 75 miles an hour.
And Brock Wills, 0 for 3. West Virginia RBIs. Kelly has 2. Smith has a pair. And 1 for Schoenfeld and 1 for Guzman. Total of 6. 1 run scored on a wild pitch. 1 scored on a fielder's choice off a caught stealing. That brings it up to a total of 8. 8-2 West Virginia. RBIs for Marshall, Smith, and Havrilla. Base hit into right field by Wills. Guzman scores. Ball cut off by first baseman Havrilla. Now it's 9-2.
So in the top of the 7th, Wills throws out a run at the plate. And then in the bottom of the 7th, Wills plates a run.
Yeah, Gravelin, 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Bottom of the 7th inning, 9-2. Wills has 3 stolen bases this year. And 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Mountaineers lead by 7. Bottom of the 7th inning. And 1-2. Ground ball, base hit, left center field. Wills to third. The throw goes to the shortstop, Smith, and the relay to second base to Kammerer. And Gravelin does get into second base safely.
Gravelin took a turn to second, and then he saw that throw come in thinking that it was going to go straight through, but then Smith cutting it off.
Now batting for the Mountaineers, third baseman, number 8, Tyrus Hall.
Well, I'm surprised the throw didn't go to second base all the way.
Yes. Ooh, good sliding there by Gravelin. Pulls his chest away from the tag, gets his right arm in there.
All swing and a miss.
I guess that would have been his left arm. Right, by the way we were looking at left on his.
Hamstring problem?
I don't know, but that's not good. This has been West Virginia's everyday third baseman. Hall, one of the guys that wasn't feeling great over the weekend, so probably just some depleted fluids. Just need to get some electrolytes. You see my word there? Depleted.
Yeah.
It's a good one, right?
That goes along with my favorite from the weekend. My favorite from the weekend was the disengagement.
Disengagement?
Yeah.
I gave you a flummoxed over the weekend.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good too.
Yeah. I have a dictionary by my bedside.
Called strike 0-2.
Once I get through that, I'm going to move on to the second version. What's it? A thesaurus?
Be careful.
Is that the sequel to the dictionary?
Yes, indeed, Mr. Roger. And a ball 1-2. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. A run in. And now with Wills at third and Graveline at second. Ground ball to short. See, that would have been an inning-ending double play right there.
Yep.
But now it's 10-2. Had the throw gone into second base, get the double play in order, but.
And that's why you throw into second base, is to keep the runner at first base.
For West Virginia, the shortstop, number 17, Matt
Leinish. 2 for 3 in the ball game. West Virginia's lead is 8. Bottom of the 7th inning, 10-2 ball game. What would you guess the bus trip up from Huntington would be? 3 hours?
3.5 probably on the bus, I would imagine.
Coach Beals was telling me earlier they left at 12:30 today.
Got here around 4.
One ball, one strike. Abrilla with the unassisted play. West Virginia scores 2 runs on 3 hits in the bottom of the 7th, and the Mountaineers lead 10-2.
Back in the 5th inning, those of us that keep score will call that one an 8-4-2 relay to cut down Hinson at home. And then just an inning ago, back in the top of the 7th, it was Brock Wills with that throw to get Simpson at the plate and keep Marshall the 2 runs.
Eva Buckman is our director, Roger Lenhart, our producer. Eva, fresh off a weekend down in San Antonio, Texas. She was working for NBC Sports at the Bolero Open Golf Tournament.
You know, I've offered to work this weekend's golf tournament for a long time, but nobody ever calls me.
No, why not?
I don't know. I can't figure it out.
I mean, you got a dictionary and a thesaurus.
I've been studying.
Abrilla 2 for 2 in the ball game with an RBI.
I know the rules for that play. I know you're not allowed to call it sand. You have to call it bunkers.
And ball 1, Anthony Joseph. His dad, both of AJ's parents are teachers. Both are middle school teachers. His dad, Rick, his mom, Stephanie. And AJ's brother, Rick, is a graduate from Tiffin, played baseball there. And his sister, Nina, senior in high school, Canfield High School. Canfield is in the Youngstown area. A lot of great umpires, a lot of great major league umpires out of Youngstown, Ohio, in that area. And one away. Hey, I have a travel question for you.
Oh, don't ask me. I never leave the state.
No, when, the visiting facilities are not all that great no matter where you go, right?
Okay.
Okay. When a team comes in for a weekend series, would they shower and change here, or would they just all go back to the hotel and in their uniforms? And
the hotel's right across the street, so I would say they would just go back to the hotel. There is a visiting locker room here, but I would say they just go back to the hotel. It's just right across the street.
Now, like Marshall in this case. I mean, are they riding the bus all the way back in their uniforms? And
I don't know. I'll have to investigate.
Can you check that out for me? And
that's another new word for me. Investigate. Multiple syllables. I'm getting pretty good at this.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's outside 2-1. And a foul ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 8th inning. West Virginia on top 10-2.
What are some other rules for announcing the Masters? I know you can't call it the front 9 and the back 9. It's the first 9 and the second 9.
Yeah, you can't call it a mob. They are patrons. You have to refer to them as patrons.
Yes. They're not fans.
Gary McCord got himself in trouble for not going by the book. What a great golf tournament. What a great golf course. The Masters coming up soon. Is it this weekend?
This weekend, yes. This weekend. It's like, for me, it's the first day of spring. You know?
One down in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-2 pitch. And a foul ball back out of play. And ball 4. I'm going to tell you something, partner, that you're probably not going to believe me.
Would you say that it's unbelievable?
No, you may not believe me. That doesn't make it unbelievable. You know, there was a time in America when people didn't high five. And certainly there was a time when people didn't knuckle bump. I mean, a young whippersnapper like yourself, you probably find that hard to believe, but I
do not believe it.
There was a time that people just didn't slap hands all the time.
I know around 2020 everything became a closed fist. No touching, no near people.
You know, there was a time that there were cell phones too. Did you know that?
I don't know. See, I am so old How old are you?
I am so old that I remember that my parents had a house with a phone that was a party line.
A party, yes.
Party
yes,
line.
I have heard of party lines. That it would just ring and then whoever.
No, you could get on the line and somebody else would be on it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But how would you know that the ring was for you? Then they had like
I'm
different
saying
rings.
let's say you were going to make a phone call.
Right.
Okay. You would pick it up and you'd hear voices.
So you'd have to wait.
Because you were on a party line and you had to wait for those.
But if there was nobody on the party line, and you were getting a phone call, how did you know it was your phone call? Would you just have to answer it?
Oh, yes.
Find out.
Sharply past Hall into left field. So Halder advances on the sharply hit ball by Golden. I'm assuming base hit. Am I assuming right, partner?
We're going to find out.
For Marshall, the center fielder, number 25.
They have posted an 8th hit.
Yes.
So 2 men on and 1 out. Estridge pitching his 2nd inning. And Harthen 1 for 3.
If you took a rotary phone down to the dugout, how many of guys do you think would be able to dial? You could probably count them on one hand, right? Like if you just dropped a rotary phone down there and said, all right, I need you to dial your parents' number.
Which begs the question, what does Superman do now when he has to find a phone booth?
He has to find an old mall somewhere.
1 ball and 1 strike on Harthen. And the foul ball. West Virginia on top 10-2. The Mountaineers hoping to improve their record to 22-7. And remember, West Virginia going to Texas Tech. The Mountaineers are in 3rd place in the Big 12 with UCF and Kansas, the 1 and 2 teams, playing each other this weekend. Marshall's tied for 6th in the Sun Belt behind Coastal Carolina leads with a record of 11-1. Marshall in conference play is 6-6. Estridge. Double play 1-6-3. Great reaction by Estridge to be on the catalytic end of a double play. GF is at Kansas this weekend. These results are after 4 weekends. There will be a total of 10 weekends of play. So West Virginia 2 games back, about to go on to play Texas Tech in Texas, and Texas Tech with the 5-7 record. So you've got Kansas State, Texas Tech, Utah, and BYU all tied for 8th place.
And the 3 teams that West Virginia does not play: Utah, Arizona, and Oklahoma State. So they're at 6-6, 5-7, 3-9. But West Virginia did play Arizona in a non-conference game last Tuesday, before they left the state of Arizona after their Arizona State series.
By the way, as a follow-up to having seen that UCF team, and I put this together by just looking at the coaches' preseason poll, which all of us know is worth
everything,
about a nickel.
Oh, nothing.
But according to the preseason poll, UCF would appear to have had the toughest schedule, because it must play all of the teams that were the top 7 teams as ranked in the preseason poll.
Now, I think I saw after 4 weeks, or no, it was after 3 weeks, this story, after 3 weeks, that after 3 weeks to the end of the season, Arizona State had the easiest schedule left. And that was after West Virginia took 2 of 3 in Tempe.
Well, let me take a look at it. I have it right here for you. Would you say Arizona State?
Arizona State.
Okay, it's home to Utah.
Yep.
And it's at BYU, home to Baylor, then at UCF, home to Oklahoma State, at Houston, and home. Oh, that's it then. That's it.
So pretty, aside from UCF there, where they have to travel, pretty simple, pretty easy.
And they don't, Arizona State does not play Kansas.
Right.
Big weekend at UCF, the 8th weekend of the season. And showing the 3rd hit of the game for Gavin Kelly. 13 West Virginia hits. A shot to the right field corner by Schoenfeld. Kelly will be stopped at 3rd. Schoenfeld's first hit of the game. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And if indeed we've been told that they are going to use the 10-run rule, that means the winning run is at second base.
Now, do I get to change my time?
No, you don't.
Now that we have.
No, you don't.
Coming to bat for the Mountaineers, left fielder number 24, Ben Lumsden.
And Ben Lumsden.
Can I challenge that ruling? I get 2 challenges, don't I?
Yeah, you
I've
do.
only lost 1.
All right, here's Ben Lumsden with the middle infielders playing back. Amanda Macy was our sideline reporter the other day. She reported that that Steve Sabins had said that Ben Lumsden was deserving of being the most disgruntled employee in terms of the opportunities for the limited opportunities for Ben.
But he hasn't been. He's been a great teammate and stepped up when asked.
And 1 away. And now Guzman. Guzman 2 for 3. Has an RBI. West Virginia leads 10-2. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ground ball. 2nd out. Kelly scores to make it 11-2, and Schoenfeld to 3rd. 2nd RBI of the game for Guzman.
Zahir Barjam will pinch hit.
For West Virginia, number 3, Zahir Barjam. Young
man from the Dominican Republic. Got a chance to end this ball game right here. And Zaire looking for his first RBI. Oh, and 2. Bottom of the 8th inning. Makinich came on in the 7th. Shot to center field. And that'll do it. Barjam does indeed come up with his first RBI. And the Mountaineers win it in the bottom of the 8th inning. Two runs in the bottom of the 8th on 3 hits. Second meeting of the year between Marshall and West Virginia, and the Mountaineers prevail 12-2. Thoughts, partner?
West Virginia got their offense back after a down weekend against UCF. Rattle out 15 hits on the night. Things looking up for Marshall too after being 1 hit in the previous matchup between the two. Marshall gets 8 hits and 2 runs today. So one more matchup between the two in Charleston, and West Virginia's taken the series, but chance to sweep.
West Virginia now 22-7. Marshall 14-17. On behalf of our entire crew, and also Angelica Trinone and my partner Tyler Barnett, thanks for joining us. All events airing on ESPN Plus, streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. West Virginia wins it in 8, 12-2. This has been a presentation of ESPN.